Hey, Emily Farber with Lepic-Crager Realtors in Iowa City. Thanks for joining me. Today's video is part of my seller series and focuses on one of the data points you should be considering when coming up with a realistic price when you're looking at listing your house. Now, this method does involve a little bit of math, so put on those hats, but it's not too scary. So let's get started. When you're ready to put your house on the market, there's several factors that go into figuring out that sweet spot for pricing. One of those is the absorption rate for your local market. Absorption rate is the number of months it would hypothetically take to sell a property in its given market. It's a prediction, and it helps determine if you are currently operating in a neutral market, a seller's market, or a buyer's market. And that is something you need to know when pricing your house. To calculate absorption rate, first you need to pick your period of time as your baseline. I'm going to go with 6 months. Then you need to determine the price bracket that you're investigating. I'm going to go with $200,000 to $250,000. So in the past 6 months, there have been 157 single family and zero lot properties that fell between $200,000 and $250,000 that sold in our MLS. We're going to divide that number by the length of time we chose, which was 6 months. That sum is the average number of homes that will sell per month. So I got 26.17 homes sold per month. Single family, zero lots, 200 to 250,000. Then we're going to figure out how many of those type of homes are currently available in the market. So according to my MLS, there are 51 as of this morning. Now we're going to divide that current number, 51, divided by the average, to come up with the absorption number. So 51 divided by 26.17 gives us 1.95. That is the absorption rate. And what that means is there is approximately 1.95 months worth of supply if no houses are withdrawn and no new ones are added to the market. So a number right around 6 is considered a balanced market, which means the number of listings approximately equals the number of active buyers. A supply rate of less than 6 indicates a seller's market, and a rate of more than 6 shows a buyer's market. Once you know your general market absorption rate, then you can really focus in on specific criteria that might be important to the sale of your house, like a specific neighborhood or a school zone or a style of house. Now, before you go skipping off into the sunset with your handy dandy absorption number, it's important to realize that all is not the same throughout the entire market. The absorption rate for one price point or neighborhood could be a different story for another price point or another neighborhood. Take a look at these data points for the Iowa City area MLS. So what do these numbers mean in real life for both buyers and sellers? Our overall absorption rate market-wide is sitting at about 3.55, which means our local market, the Iowa City area MLS, is still solidly in a seller's market. That means the sellers have the proverbial upper hand. They can ask a pretty penny for their property, and they can expect those selling prices to be pretty close to list price. However, all is not equal throughout the playing field. If you are listing your house or looking for a house in a higher price bracket, say $500,000 to $600,000, the absorption rate for that price range right now, 7.66. That is well into a buyer's market. So sellers, you may need to rethink what an accurate price range for your house is, or you may need to incentivize those buyers to lure them in. Now, if you are searching as a buyer in the price bracket, which I outlined in the main video, that $200,000 to $250,000 range, with an absorption rate of 1.95, that means it's a pretty hardcore seller's market. Sellers, that means you can ask a nice price for your house and you can expect to sell there. Buyers, what does that mean for you? It means you best light a fire under your rear end. When a house comes on the market that you think is a good pick, hustle yourself right on over there, and if you think that that is the house of your dreams, don't screw around. Write your best offer. Hey, I hope you found this helpful. I'll be covering more tips on selling your home in future videos, so be sure to subscribe and click that bell icon down below. That way you'll be alerted when I put out a new video, which, by the way, is every Friday and sometimes even more often. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time.